Welcome into this year's first edition of Inside F&M Wrestling. I'm Jack Heffer alongside head coach Mike Rogers. Coach, start of the season thus far for your wrestling squad, and you've had a dual meet and a couple of open tournaments, the Bearcat Tournament and the Keystone Classic. Some good individual results for your wrestlers, particularly Anthony Mancini and Antonio Paluzzi. They both finished third in the Bearcat Invitational, and also at the Keystone Classic, Brett Culp finishing fifth. You got to be happy with what your guys have accomplished thus far in these open tournaments.
Yeah, I think we're progressing pretty well. Each one of those tournaments, from the Bearcat to the Keystone, they're a little bit higher level competition, and we're performing better against better competition. So it's nice to have Paluzzi back off a red shirt, and he's doing well, kind of anchoring our, the big guy at the end. Always nice to have a solid guy anchoring your lineup. Mancini's redshirting this year and did well at the Bearcat. And our younger guys, especially those early tournaments, are taking some lumps. But like Brett Culp, we called it. It looked like he was kind of coming out party with doing a great job at the Keystone and wrestling tough, and losing to a really good Harvard kid in a tight match, which is a conference match too. So it's nice, some of our younger guys starting to develop, and that's where we have a kind of a mixture between older guys coming with Phil and Paluzzi at the upper weights, and then we got some younger guys through the lower weights. So they're still kind of getting their legs under them and kind of figuring out the Division I level wrestling. But everyone's wrestling better, and every week we're getting better. We're making progress, and ultimately that's what we're trying to do.
Progress entering this Saturday. You guys take on VMI. Last year, that was one of the huge dual meet wins. That was here at Franklin Marshall, and Anthony Mancini had that big-time pin to secure the victory in that dual meet. Second dual meet of the season. You're shaking up the lineup. You guys go down to Virginia to take them on. How do you feel about this upcoming Saturday?
Feel pretty good. We've never beat them there. We've only beat them twice since I've been here, and both times it's been in our place. So it's a tough place to wrestle. They do a great job of bringing the cadets out, and it's a pretty hostile environment. And so we have some of our F&M supporters are actually driving specifically down there because of how the environment is down there for our guys. So for our younger guys, it's gonna be a test with because their crowd will be on us. And I like that kind of environment. And if you want to shut them up, you got to win, So they do a great job promoting their matches and having a really intense environment. But I'm really confident in our guys. I think we're looking good from our performances at the Keystone and going into this week. I feel confident, but you never know. It's a long trip. It's you're on the road, but our guys from the last three competitions, we've been on the road the last 3 or 4 weeks, so they should be a little bit used to that.
Coach, let's look at the lineup though so far. You mentioned Paluzzi at the back end of the lineup. You guys have a strong punch in those final 4 or 5 weight classes. Josh Young is returning from a redshirt season. He's at 174. And you mentioned Phil Rubalito. He's finally plugged into the lineup after last year, a couple of complications and dealing with injuries as well, where he wasn't really plugged into that dual meet lineup yet. You guys have a really nice and veteran back end of the lineup that should help you guys against VMI and in these dual meets coming up in league action.
Yeah, it's nice having some veteran guys up there and having Phil back consistently. We got him back at the very late of the season last year, like he was in 1 or 2 dual meets, but having him in consistently, and then Paluzzi at heavyweight. Having Josh back as a 5th-year senior, he wrestles a lot of energy. Even Steven Marcadante is doing great. He's a freshman at 184. He's still kind of figuring things out. Great athlete. He just needs to learn more wrestling technique, and that just comes with experience. But even our younger guys at 133, Will Gill's doing a great job for us. He's a big 133-pounder. Him and Danny Martaccio have kind of been scrapping it out between the two of them. So it's nice having 2 really good guys to choose from down there. Sometimes it makes my decision harder because sometimes it's based on matchups. Will's a very physical, big 33-pounder. Danny is a very slick, quick 133-pounder. So sometimes you got to look at which matchups is best against who they're going to put out there. And Brett Culp at 41. So even 25, 33, and 41 were very solid. 49, Cole Aaron's kind of been dinged up a little bit, so we're still kind of figuring that out. And then even 57, we got a young sophomore there with Emmett. but he's a sophomore, but he's a veteran guy. You know, he knows how to handle himself. He's a big move guy. He can hit stuff from all different positions. And at 165, another kind of veteran that's been on the sidelines for a while, Jake Connors, was out for a while for injuries, and him and Dylan are kind of fighting it out between 165. So we got young guys kind of battling with the upperclassmen. So it's good because it pushes our upperclassmen to kind of make sure they're doing their part to stay in the lineup. And our younger guys, it's nice to see our younger guys pushing them because, you know, the future looks really good. So it's going to be a battle. I mean, you know, I think some of those matchups, I think we're favored in a few. They're favored in a few. There's going to be a lot of toss-ups, and those can be the big difference in the outcome.
Well, this dual meet is really the last dual meet of this year, 2017. Then you step into 2018, and looking ahead, big event for Franklin Marshall Wrestling, the Dave Lehman F&M Open. That'll be in early January. That is a fun event here on Franklin Marshall's campus, and a highly attended one as well. I'm sure that you guys are looking forward to that come January.
Yeah, that event is growing every year, and we're getting more and more teams looking forward to bringing their teams into our venue. And we're projected to be around 350, maybe more, of athletes, with a lot of solid teams coming in, and some individuals with it being an open. We're also growing the event to a Friday night event there's a Wrestlers Business Social. On Sunday there's a youth event going on, so it's becoming a wrestling weekend, not so much a one-day college event. But the big thing for us, we want to get our alumni back engaged and involved. And it's a fundraiser for us, so we tried to do something different this year. Justin Herbert had a great idea. We'd kind of make each mat kind of a decade mat. So like for mat 9 would be for the 90s. So we're trying to get at least 10 to 20 people on that kind of decade to kind of give to that mat and support that mat financially, and try to help our fundraising efforts. But also it's more kind of engaging more alumni. We're going to partner up with Track this year, so all the matches, every mat is going to be broadcast live. So if you can't make it, you can also watch it online. And also too, for marketing and for businesses, if you have a business that want to sponsor the F&M Open, we can put the names up on there. So I think we're attracting more and more people to not only come to an event. If you can't come there, there's only 400 wrestlers. They'll have parents and grandparents and friends and family that can get online and watch it through Track. So we're just bringing more attention to campus, more attention to the event, and I think the energy behind it is really starting to grow.
Hey, it should be a fun weekend, and if anybody has any questions on how to help out, please be sure to contact the coaching staff here at Franklin Marshall, including head coach Mike Rogers. Coach, that's going to be a great weekend. Best of luck this Saturday against VMI. We'll be back next week, and you and I don't think we're going to have beards. November's ending, December's coming up, and it's going to be nice to get rid of this facial hair, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm ready to shave this off. So, but I usually do it in stages. I go with a goatee, then a Fu Manchu, then a mustache. So my kids hate it. So I play with them for a little while.
Slowly but surely, and we'll be clean shaven by next week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you then.